before we get into 6D, this is not your first rodeo. You've been around the industry forever, starting at the dealership level and then working your way up through the glory days of White Brothers, and then on the far end of things, being a magazine guy before becoming the helmet innovator. So let's go back to the beginning, tasseling corn in Iowa and working your way forward.
How'd you know that was my first? Snorting. My first job was detasseling corn in Iowa. Because you're from Iowa, then we had that conversation. But no, I was. My family moved to Connecticut in 1978, and I started racing motocross there. I actually raced a couple of times in Nebraska before I went to Connecticut, but to support my habit, I ended up working at a Honda dealership in Connecticut, Manchester Honda. And I was there from 1980 to 1990. I think in 81 or somewhere around there, I became the parts manager, and spent 10 years racing in New England and selling Honda motorcycles to motocross riders. That was kind of my part of the job back then, as well as being the parts manager. And we won a bunch of New England motocross championships out of our shop. Not me. I was a pretty good rider, but I never won any championships back there. Actually, I did. I won the four-stroke championship. But and then that kind of progressed to, I knew I wanted to be in the industry, but there was no industry per se in that area. So I kind of knew I needed to move. And I floated a couple of resumes to California at one of the Indy shows, Jim Hale and Tom White, and I think maybe Mitch Payton.
Indy, or we were still in Cincinnati back then?
Yeah, Cincinnati it would have been, absolutely, from Cincinnati, how quick you forget. But anyways, Tom White called me, and after having a discussion there, and he asked me if I would come out and interview. So I think in June of 1990, I flew out and interviewed with Tom for his sales manager's position, and he hired me. Took the month of August to move, and got established. I think I started on the 1st of September as a sales manager at White Brothers when they were in Garden Grove, and we were doing about $6 million in sales at the time. And I spent 4 years with Tom. We moved the company out to Yorba Linda, grew the business a ton, and ended up going from there into the publishing world. And I spent 8 years in publishing with what was Peterson Publishing when I started, and became Peterson LLC, and then EMAP Peterson, and worked my way up the ranks in that organization to the publisher's position, and had 6 magazines under my responsibility for at least the sales side of the equation when I was there.